Hello everybody, this is Debbie from Teacher Success Coach. I'm in another park and I decided that I was going to do a live just to come on to say hi to you people. Right, and one of the things I decided I was going to talk about is gratitude again, because that's something that is always on my mind, close to my heart. So I thought I'm going to talk about gratitude. What are you grateful for today? Well, what am I grateful for today? Well, the beauty of the park. Can you guys see the park? It is such a beautiful day. That is something we need to be grateful for. I need to be grateful for. I need to demonstrate gratitude because it is just a wonderful, wonderful day. And I decided to walk down to the park and just look at nature. The beauty of nature, the birds flying, people walking. It's just really nice. So that's one of the things I'm grateful for as well. And yesterday was result day, and it was A-level result day. Well, my students have done very well, and I'm so pleased with them. I'm so pleased with them, and because they've actually did what's it called? It's not WhatsApp, the other one. Is it Snapchat or whatever? Instagram. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember the thing the young people look at. Yeah, Instagram, and they actually did put the grades they've got. It really is nice, and I'm so pleased that the result was A's and B's. That it was a small class anyway. I think I had 13, 14 year 13s. So it was really nice. So I'm really pleased. Times like that, it make you feel, gosh, as a teacher, you're doing a good job. So, that's what was really nice for me, the fact that they've done so well. Because it have been a challenging year for these students, because bearing in mind a lot of them have not had an exam before, because during the COVID time they actually were, the GCSE was teacher target grade, so therefore they didn't know what it was like to actually be in an exam room and do exam under pressure. So a lot of them were really stressed. And when your students are stressed, you too feeling the stress, because you're not too sure how to help them to navigate their emotion. And it doesn't matter how you tell them or what you tell them to do, it still isn't. Sometimes it's not even enough for them, because they don't know what to do. So they were so stressed, because even when they finish the exam, they come and find us and they say, Miss, one of them say, oh, the sociology exam was, one part was good, the other part was tough. The psychology, they complained how tough the psychology was. So I don't know the result of the psychology yet, because I've actually messaged some of them. So I'm just hoping that they get back to me so I know roughly what the psychology result is. The group was bigger. The psychology group was, I think I had about 25 students. So that was a much bigger group. So I'm just praying and hoping that they've got the grade that they wanted to get onto university and do their further study. But the fact that the sociology result was good, it made me feel quite pleased that I've done, my other colleague and I, we've done a good job with the students, bearing in mind, it was very challenging for them and for us. Yes, well, I'm still, walking around this park and just enjoying the park. Yeah, so that's one of the other things I'm grateful for as well. I'm also grateful for fantastic friends, because I had a really lovely friend I spoke to this morning in the US. And as teachers, it doesn't matter where we are across the road, across the world, we are experiencing more or less the same challenges. Being an educator in this time is extremely challenging. Wherever you are, whether or not you're in the Caribbean, whether or not you're in the US, whether or not you're in the UK, we are all going through this journey in terms of just come from COVID, and then how the schools are navigating and supporting us as educators or not supporting us. And one of the things I actually thought about was when we actually went through the process of COVID, right? We all know, those of us in the education system, that the education system is broken. Right? And I always say to people, okay, yes, I know I'm an educator, but I'm going to say that all the time. I do not feel that the education system is fit for purpose. Because when you look at the education system and how children are being taught now compared with how they were taught in my grandparents' days, It's the same thing. It's like they're meant to be sitting still, facing the front, be quiet, forget about individual differences, forget about, the fact that some children are creative and would do things differently. Oh, no, no, no. That doesn't count. You just have to sit in lines, face the front, and look and listen to the teacher writing on the whiteboard. Or the whiteboard most times. And after COVID, I've actually come and left. The fact that we were actually online teaching, so we had to use a lot of technology. One would have thought that having gone through the process, now that we are back in the classroom, things would have changed. Because after all, when we were, when COVID was here, we were doing a lot of things using technology. However, we are back as if COVID had never taken place. And that is quite worrying, because during my shows, those of you who know that I was doing shows talking to educators around the world, one of the things I kept saying on my show was COVID had forced education to look at technology in a different light, because every industry had some form of shift except in education. So I thought that post-COVID, technology would be a major feature in the classroom. But oh no, forget that. The way we have gone back into the teaching from, when did we go back? I think we went back in April. Yeah, April or March. As if COVID hadn't taken place. Life has just continued. And one of the things that frustrates me more than anything else is these young people have gone through major trauma, and that is not even being addressed. They just carry on, the establishment is just carrying on as if nothing have happened. And when students are actually, behaving how they're, out of character, it's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you behaving like that? Really? It's as if it's forgotten that these students have gone through major trauma. And we need to help them to navigate that and deal with it. But as if the establishment are they're not even considering it, as if they're pretending that life is normal. But how in heavens could it be normal when these students have gone through such a major trauma? Yes, we all have, but remember, young people, it's much more, they're much more vulnerable, and I find that is far more traumatic for them than it is for us. So that has been a major thing for me in terms of the education system, because I'm still maintaining, yes, I'm a teacher, I know that. I'm still maintaining that the education system is not fit for purpose. Because what have happened is the whole system had broken down, but what they've done is they just take all the bricks back and just slam it back together and pretend that it's okay, it's fixed. No, it's not. There's so many issues in the classroom with the students, and we cannot be blaming the students because some of them do not know how to navigate their emotion, because they have not been taught or shown how to navigate their emotion. So when we are in the classroom and we're getting all this negative behavior, or students are getting out of classroom, or students are doing whatever they want to do, we need to remember these are some of the challenges that they have been going through during pandemic time, COVID time, etc. And we have not addressed it. The fact that we have not addressed it, it is still there. And a number of them are suffering from mental health issue. I'm not saying maybe not. I'm not saying possibility. I'm telling you a fact. As someone within the education system and on the front line, and someone who is in psychology, I can tell you that a lot of them are suffering mental health issue, and they don't know how to navigate it because they have not been shown or taught, and the establishment is pretending that everything is okay, and we know it's not. I went for a job in an establishment a few months ago, and one of the things I actually asked the principal was, what have you got in place to support students with mental health issue and teachers. And I was told that, oh yes, this is something we're looking at. I said, but how could you be looking at it and we should have, or you should have something in place to deal with it, because this is current. But I'm sure you guys know I didn't get the job, right? Because I challenged them. And I spoke to my line manager after, and they said to me, you don't fit in, because the fact that, they were embarrassed because they didn't have anything in place, because I wasn't letting it go, because I wanted to know what they had in place for these young people and for educators. And they were not able to tell me anything because they had nothing in place. All he said was, oh yes, well, we're looking at it, and we, yes, that is something is on our list, etc. It's on your list, but what is in place? That was my concern. So in terms of the education system, as an educator, it kind of aggrieved me in terms of people are not taking the mental health issue and the welfare of our young people seriously enough. What we need to remember is these young people are the future, and we need to make sure that we support them as much as we can with their mental health, because we want them to be able to support the country. We want them to be able to take things forward. And if we are not supporting the mental health and dealing with it, how are we going to be able to have these young people to do the things we want them to do? Anyway, guys, I could talk for ages, because this is a topic very close to my heart, especially being a psychologist. It really is. I find it frustrating, I find it annoying, and I'm always going on about the education system not fit for purpose. You might ask what I'm doing. Well, what I'm doing towards that is I do a lot of voluntary counseling with a lot of young people, and some of the young people, trying to help them to navigate, because I counsel 3 young people a week, trying to help them to navigate the whole system that they actually find themselves in. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic evening, night, morning where you are. Thank you guys for listening. Oh, hi Catherine. Oh, this is the first time I'm able to see people on my live, and normally not able to see people. Thank you very much for looking. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day, evening, night, morning where you are, and I will see you all possibly tomorrow. It just depends on what's happening. Take care, stay blessed, have a great evening. Bye bye.